When we think of dominant military forces, names like the United States, Russia, and China usually take center stage. But over the last 48 hours, the spotlight has shifted. And no one, not even Russia, saw it coming. A surge of precision, power, and cutting-edge technology just unfolded. Not from Washington or Beijing, but from Paris. Yes, France. French war machines just made a loud and clear statement, and the world, especially Russia, is now paying close attention. So, what exactly happened? Why is the French military suddenly trending across defense circles? And more importantly, why is Russia so rattled? In today's video, we're diving into one of the most surprising military developments of the year, France's unexpected show of force that's making headlines across Europe and beyond. During a high-intensity NATO drill, backed by real-time footage, live-fire exercises, and tactical precision, France deployed some of its most advanced military equipment, and let's just say, it left observers stunned. We're talking about the Rafael fighter jet executing maneuvers that rival the F-35, Leclerc tanks rolling through rugged terrain like beasts, and next-gen artillery systems operating with chilling accuracy. But this wasn't just about flexing firepower. This was a message to NATO allies, to adversaries, and specifically to Russia, who has long underestimated France's strategic weight in the European defense landscape. And trust me, this goes far beyond a military drill. It ties into shifting alliances, battlefield innovations, and a quiet but growing power struggle in Europe. Stick around, because in this video we'll break down and what this means for future conflict zones, especially Eastern Europe. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel, enable notifications, and give us a like so you never miss an update. Let's get into it. Let's start with the event that has the world buzzing. Over the last week, France's military took center stage during a NATO exercise in Eastern Europe, one that involved joint operations with several allied forces. But it wasn't just any standard drill. This was a high-stakes display of firepower and strategy, meant to showcase the capabilities of French military tech in a real-world scenario, and Russia was watching from the sidelines. The location? A strategic military base near the Black Sea, in an area that Russia has had its eyes on for years. And the purpose? To test the interoperability of NATO forces, while also sending a clear message about France's evolving role in global defense. What made this drill stand out, though, was the shock and awe factor. When French technology entered the fray, it was clear that Russia didn't expect this level of coordination and power. This wasn't just about NATO working together, it was about France flexing its military muscle in a way that Russia hadn't anticipated. The French military tech that shocked Russia. Now, let's talk about exactly what tech caught Russia off guard. France has long been known for its strong defense industry, but what we saw on the ground and in the air during this exercise was truly next level. First up, the Rafael fighter jet. This multi-role aircraft is one of the crown jewels of French military aviation. Capable of carrying out air-to-air combat, ground strikes, and nuclear deterrence missions, the Rafael is a truly versatile fighter. In this exercise, it was deployed in advanced combat formations, coordinating with other NATO jets in a way that showed a level of precision and agility that left Russian analysts scratching their heads. Just imagine this, a Rafael entering contested airspace, dodging SAMs, surface-to-air missiles, and striking with surgical precision while avoiding detection by enemy radars. This type of stealth, speed, and maneuverability is a game-changer, and Russia knows it. With the Rafael, France has proven that it can project power far beyond its borders in a way that's difficult for traditional adversaries to counter. But it's not just the Rafael that caught the attention. The Leclerc tank, which is often overshadowed by more famous models like the Abrams or the Leopard, showed off its mobility and firepower on the battlefield. The Leclerc is one of the most advanced tanks in the world, combining incredible firepower, armor, and autonomous capabilities. It's a next-gen armored vehicle that blends human operator expertise with AI support, making it more effective in modern combat scenarios. During this exercise, the Leclerc tanks rolled through extremely difficult terrain, showing off their mobility and firepower, and again, Russia's military analysts were taking notes. It wasn't just the big-ticket machines like the Rafael or the Leclerc. France also showcased its next-gen artillery systems. These are systems that combine unbelievable precision with rapid-fire capabilities, able to strike targets with deadly accuracy from great distances. The ability to hit targets without exposing your position is key in modern warfare, and France's artillery units prove they can do it better than ever before. The strategic implications, why this is more than just a military drill. Now, let's take a step back and consider what this really means on a larger scale. Sure, it's one thing to impress the military community with impressive hardware and tactics, but why did this exercise send such shockwaves through Moscow? For years, Russia has been the dominant force in Eastern Europe and has long considered France to be a secondary player in the defense landscape. But what we saw in this exercise shows that France is no longer just a bystander in global security matters. This event was a clear signal to Russia that France, and by extension, NATO, has a serious military presence that can deter and counteract Russian aggression. The ability of French forces to deploy cutting-edge technology with precision and coordination was an eye-opener for the Russian military leadership. They underestimated the capabilities of NATO's second-largest military, and now they're realizing that the French military can move quickly and with devastating force when needed. But it's not just about defense strategy, it's about geopolitics. With the growing tensions between NATO and Russia, especially in areas like Ukraine, France's military exercises are a calculated move. France is positioning itself as an indispensable player in European security, independent of US influence, yet firmly within the NATO framework. This means Russia has to rethink its approach, not just to France, but to the entire Western alliance. And this leads us to something even bigger, the evolving role of NATO. France's boldness in this exercise could be a game changer for NATO's long-term strategy. The alliance has traditionally relied heavily on US military power, but with this demonstration, France is stepping up, showing that it's ready to take on more responsibility and leadership in European defense. How the US and NATO are reacting. So, how are the US and NATO responding to this bold French move? Interestingly, both have praised France's ability to execute high-tech warfare with such finesse. The United States, in particular, is watching closely. While the US remains the most powerful military in the world, the reality is that France's independence in defense means the US won't always be the first line of defense in European security matters. This drill demonstrated that NATO can rely on multiple players for rapid response operations in the event of a crisis. The US may be the muscle, but France is the brain, and that's something NATO is taking seriously. NATO's response has been to ramp up cooperation with France, expanding joint exercises and focusing on enhancing interoperability across member states. This means we'll see more French-led operations in the future, with NATO forces coming together in ways we haven't seen before. It's a new chapter in NATO's evolution, and one that strengthens the alliance. What this means for future conflicts. As we look ahead, this exercise is a harbinger of things to come. Eastern Europe remains a powder keg, and the Russian threat isn't going away anytime soon. But with France now firmly positioned as a leader in European defense, we could be looking at a more multifaceted response to future conflicts. The French military has demonstrated that it's capable of holding its own against larger, more established powers, and that's a huge win for the future of European security. France's next-gen military tech, paired with its growing geopolitical role, means that NATO will be ready for any challenge, whether it's Russian aggression, Middle Eastern instability, or new threats emerging from the South China Sea. As global tensions rise, one thing is clear: France is no longer just a side player, it's a force to be reckoned with. Conclusion. So, the next time you hear someone question France's place in global defense, just remember this moment. France has not only shocked Russia, but it's also positioning itself as a key military player in the coming years. And with NATO's backing, there's no telling just how far France will go. If you found this breakdown fascinating, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more in-depth analyses on global military power plays. Stay tuned for our next video where we'll dive even deeper into emerging military technologies from around the world. Until next time, stay informed, stay safe, and keep watching.